Hello and welcome to Maple Flavored Yoga. My name is Andy and this is Dr. Claw. Since you found your way to this channel, I would really appreciate it if you would click the subscribe button. That way you won't miss any classes that I release on Mondays. Also, feel free to give it a like or leave a comment below. I would love to hear from you. These simple actions help support me in creating yoga classes on this channel for you to enjoy, and I really do appreciate it. This class today is going to be all about triangle pose or Trikonasana. We're going to take some time to understand how to set up properly for the pose and different variations so that you can practice this pose safely. So to begin, we will come to standing. There are lots and lots of different ways that you can come into triangle pose. But for this one, we'll just bring our right foot to sort of the back of the mat and we'll point our left toes forward. Our back foot can be angled slightly forward and our right foot should be pretty much in line with the arch of our back foot. We want to make sure that we have really good contact with the knife edge of our back foot. And our front foot, the weight is very evenly distributed through the foot and making sure that our big toe mound is really anchored. So this will give us a really nice solid base to work off of for our triangle pose. From here, we can bring our hands to our hips and just push down slightly on the tops of our hips to really feel that energy grounded down through our feet. With this, we'll bring our arms out to the sides with our arms stretched, and then we can begin to glide forward our chest. Our hips are open to the side. Unlike with pyramid pose, we are having our hips squared. So we want to have our hips open to the side. Our front glides forward. And then when you're ready, you can begin to bring your top arm up to the ceiling and your left hand down. So if this is really intense, you can bring your hands onto the top of your thigh, down onto your shin or your ankle, and just allow this really beautiful side opening. This is really opening for the legs as well. And then you can gaze up over your thumb. So for some people, they like to bring their fingertips right to the floor in front of their foot. You can also bring your fingertips behind the foot as well. But there's no rush to get your fingertips to the floor. As always, all of these variations are going to give you all of the same benefits, regardless of where you are in your practice. And maybe if you're always going to the floor, you can try one of these other variations, and that might actually move your body in a different way and be more of a challenge for you. So this is a very tricky balance. We want to make sure that our heart is intending to the sky, kind of like we're squished between two panes of glass. We want our body to be very linear. If you're rolling through your back to try and touch the ground, that means that you may want to try one of these other options that allows you to stay with your chest pointed forward and your rib cage spiraling up. If you fall over, that's okay. That's why it's really important to take some time to set up good for this pose. Having your feet really grounded into the mat will help you with that falling all over, that stability, that balance is really important for this pose. One of the most commonly used props for this pose is a block. If you don't have a block, that's okay. You can use books or anything like that around your house. If you want to try and use a block, we'll take a few moments to find a stance that's comfortable. Again, making sure that your heel is in line with the arch of your foot. My back foot knife edge of the foot is really grounded, has good contact with the mat. My front foot is flat and it has good contact with the ground again. We'll bring our arms out to the side like you would in Warrior Two. And then you'll begin to glide your chest forward, hinging from your hips, keeping a nice straight back. And then if I want, I can grab my block. I'm gonna put it behind my foot this time. And then I'll bring my right hand up to the sky. That's one thing I've noticed a lot with teaching classes. A lot of people will curl forward to try and get their hands to the floor. But that's when using a block or putting your hand on your shin, or even maybe this is a good variation for you, is best. We want to make sure that our back is still nice and straight. We don't want to be curling through, especially in our thoracic spine. This pose always feels really free and spacious for me. My limbs are really growing into the floor. My hands are, one's growing up to the sky and one's growing into the mat. It feels really, really good. So then to come out of this pose, you begin to lift using your core, coming back into that Warrior Two arms, and then you can bring your toes to the front of the mat. Both are pointing to the front of the mat, and maybe we'll try this on the other side. So again, taking this stance, our front leg is straight, back leg is straight. Take a few moments to really find a good solid footing here. Arms up. Our belly button is still pulled to our spine. Our core is engaged. And we don't want our hips to be pointing towards the front. We want to have them still pretty much pointing towards the side of the mat, maybe slightly forward, but we definitely don't want to be square with the front. We want to have a nice open hips here. We'll glide forward with our arms, letting that rib cage slide, glide forward, and then if it feels good, you can bring your hand down to your ankle. We're using one of those blocks. Having your side ribs peel back, looking over that top bum. This drishti can be difficult, but once you find it, it's really, really lovely. Make sure you're breathing here. And then when you want to rise, really engaging that core, coming back up. Okay. So we will take our stance, again, taking some time to really setting up well. Getting good contact with your mat. Arms come up. Glide forward, and then once you're as far forward as you can go, a nice long reach, you can bring your hand down to meet your shin or your ankle, and your back hand comes up to the sky. And as you can see, you really want to try and feel like there's a wall here and a wall here. You want to try and stay as flat as you can. Bringing these side ribs, curling them back. And inhale using your hips and your side muscles. I hope you found this tutorial helpful when you're moving into and out of Trikonasana or triangle pose. It's a very versatile pose. It is a very freeing pose. It's one of my favorites. I find it targets a lot of my problem areas as a desk dweller for work. It really opens up my side body and allows me to really find length in all of my limbs, which feels really, really great after a long day of sitting at a desk. If you have any comments, please feel free to reach out to me. I would love to hear from you guys. And until next time, know that you are seen, you are loved, and you are divine. Take care.